Hi, my name is Gerhard Schwantner and welcome to Selling Power TV. Today we have the great pleasure of meeting with Leon Yi, who's the founder and CEO of MobiTen. Welcome, Leon.
Thank you, Gerhard. It's great to be here.
You are a wonderful storyteller and you've read a lot about stories. So can you explain the structure of a really good story that is universally acceptable?
I actually learned all of this thing from reading, so I don't really want to call myself an expert, kind of like expert by books. But Joseph Campbell is my favorite philosopher, reader, storyteller, expert, and what he found out that universally, human being has a three type of the structure is divided by three type of section. The first one is what he called reluctant hero. There should be always a reluctant hero. Usually, the person doesn't mean to want to be a certain thing, and they're just happy in their own place until usually something drastic happens. Their house get burned down, they get fired, somebody, their wife left them or something like that, financial problem. And the next thing is that they have to go to the second section, which is journey, which is finding themselves lost in the wood. And that's creating tension, figuring out what works, what doesn't, who's their friends and who's doesn't. And finally, in conclusion, what they call return to home. When you go back, come to finding yourself at the end, and also go back to where you're from. And this is what I call circle of story. And that's good storyline has to have those three sections.
So how can a salesperson create a good storyline that goes full circle from the customer situation where they were reluctant to do anything, and then there is some event that causes them to get nervous and struggling for a solution, and then the salesperson being sort of the creator of a moment of fusion where a customer feels relief. So how can salespeople learn that?
Customer likes to be in the picture. So the first thing you do as a salesperson, do not talk about you. Do not talk about your product. Talk about your existing customer, your friend that has this similar situation with the people that you're talking to. So you have to be quick on your feet, and first and foremost, listen first. Do not just jump in because you don't know their problem. And any salespeople, good salespeople are usually a good listener. When you listen, and I have this rule that I call it 3 minutes rule, that when people say something, I try not to respond right away. And what I found out that usually people have not finished talking. So you have to start first with a good listener. And based on a good listening activity, you figure out who this customer is. Hopefully you have some kind of buyer persona if you do this thing very often. Because, for example, CEO, if you deal with all CEO, you start seeing the pattern. When you deal with CFO, you same ways. So once you start doing this, you start building your own storyline. That's why in our product, we have a way that you can create a library. So you can quickly switch based on who you're talking to. It's important to be relevant. You don't want to talk about story about CFO to CEO or something, and vice versa, and all of those things. Listen to create context, and once you have that, then every single customer that you're talking to, they have their daily struggle. Try to find some similarity in the past that you have faced this problem, and put them in this situation, put this in the three section. Your customer has a problem. They try to use several different solutions, and hopefully by the 14th trial, they use your products and find out that this really works for them. And with your product, finally come home and become a hero in their company.
Thank you, Leon. We are going to continue our conversation with Leon tomorrow on that wonderful topic on storytelling that helps us sell more and sell better.